Disclaimer, I am not a Bionicle guy. It just was never my thing, I didn't grow up with it. But nevertheless, today we have our first Bionicle set in years. So bear with me, Bionicle fans, but let's take a closer look at Bionicle, Tahu, and Takua. This set was sent to me early by the LEGO group to review, but you will be able to get yours as a gift with purchase from LEGO.com starting at the end of January. When I have all the official details, I will try to pin that in a comment down below. Set number 40581, Tahu and Takua, is a remake of a classic Bionicle set, which I fortunately have here so we can make a direct comparison. Now, one thing that caught me off guard right away is that this set is called Tahu and Takua. And first of all, I have no idea who Takua is. Doing a quick search on Brickset revealed only one set in which he is included. Turns out to be a really cool set. The crab, Huku, that Takua is riding, has this amazing crawling feature. And if you're interested in learning more about that set, you should check out this review by All Out Brick, which is a delightful watch. Tahu, I'm a little more familiar with, especially after his iconic appearance in the 90th anniversary Creative Bucket. But beyond that, there have been so many iterations of Tahu, all beginning, I believe, with this one, 20-some years ago. This set is more than meets the eye, though, as you'll see when you spin it around. It actually includes two characters, and Takua is right there. I realized if I wanted to figure out why this pairing worked or was happening in the set, I would have to watch one of the Bionicle movies, and that I did. So I sat down with my wife to watch Bionicle Mask of Light, and all became clear to me. Apparently Takua, even though he's only in one set, is the main character of this movie. There is a very real reason that these were included together. These two guys were hanging out in the lava. And I'm not going to go into the lore and make a fool of myself, but instead we're going to look at this from the perspective of just a casual LEGO fan. Seeing this on the box, opening it up, and getting two figures, plus a really nice stand, plus this little Easter egg, which at best I can maybe attribute to the opening of the movie. Regardless, it doesn't matter what it is, it's a wonderful surprise. This reminds me of the Diagon Alley direct-to-consumer from Harry Potter, where there was a mystery figure included. So many times when I'm doing these reviews, I open the box and I find exactly what I expected to see, and yay! But this time I opened the box and stuff just kept coming out. Stuff I did not expect to see, and that is the best kind of surprise. I get that LEGO has to be a little more forthcoming in a set that they're throwing out on shelves. The set needs to sell itself. But when you're getting a freebie and you open it up and there's more freebies inside, it's a win-win for everybody. Even though I really didn't know what I was looking at when I first built this set. The original canister art for Tahu showed him on a lava board, but as you can see, the original set had no lava board. The remake fills in the gaps a little bit and gives him a great stand too. It's very much a display piece, plus your little bonus side items, which you could tack on if you wanted. In fact, Takua can fit onto the back of Tahu, which is pretty fun, just like they do in the movie. Obviously, we weren't going to get a canister for this set, but I do really like what they've done with the box art, very faithfully recapturing the look that you would have seen printed onto the canister way back in the day when the set was originally sold. Simple as it is, the big Bionicle logo on the side does it for me too. That's good looking stuff. The instruction booklet is kind of special too, as there are a few pages in the front dedicated to Bionicle. There's a hero shot of Takua and Tahu in the front, which is kind of funny to me, with some Bionicle iconography in the background. It's all very dramatic and epic. But the second page is really cool too, with a note from Greg Farsty himself, which is awesome to see. And you can pause and read that for yourself if you'd like. The model does a good job of reflecting the colors of the original. I mean, that wasn't going to be too difficult. It's Lego red and Lego orange, black, and I mean, they've updated the grays, obviously, but for the most part, a pretty simple color scheme. I think the most interesting part of these sets to a lot of people is going to be the masks, the new masks. which are printed 2x2 curved elements. It's great that they're prints, but it's a very weird choice to me. I definitely thought we'd see something brick built. And that already brings me to probably the biggest gripe about the remake, is that it loses a lot of the Bionicle flair. When I think Bionicle, I think a lot of straight lines, mechanical in nature, very robotic and harsh, for lack of a better word, very textured. And I think what this set has done, it's replaced all of that beautiful texture with the smoothest, roundest shapes possible. The masks are down to a simple curved piece. Curved pieces adorn the arms, the legs, the chest. Everything is curved and rounded off. It feels very un-Bionicle-like to me, especially when you compare the elements of the original, which are so textured. There's holes everywhere, lines everywhere, gears everywhere, but it's all been smoothed and sanded down to create this instead. I did a quick search for system remakes of Tahu, and I found this one right away on LEGO Ideas, which does a much better job of capturing that mechanical look, probably with a lot more pieces, but it feels much more Bionicle to me than this one. Even though I'm not a Bionicle guy, I don't own much of any Bionicle sets, I can still appreciate the very unique aesthetic about it, and I feel that this fails to capture that for the most part. I mean, just take a look at all these super specialized, but in their own right, very beautifully designed pieces. Though at the same time, LEGO has captured the color blocking very well, and has even gone so far, as shown in the box art, to make the sections detachable very much in the same way that the originals are. You can break them up into his Bionicle-like parts. The new model is incredibly posable, much more so even than the original, which I was surprised to find that the head can't move at all, which is very weird to me. But there is a great feature that was built into many of the Bionicle of this era, where his arm can swing up and down, with an overcomplicated gear mechanism and some very specialized parts. As an outsider looking in, it looks nice on display. They've done a great job with the stand especially. It's a very posable character, and you can get him in a lot of dynamic positions. The extra bonuses that you don't expect when initially ordering this set is a delightful surprise, even if originally I didn't even know who this character was supposed to be. Ultimately, this set isn't for me, and I'm really, really curious to see what actual Bionicle fans make of something like this. Is this a complete win? Is this the thing you've been waiting a decade plus for? Is this the triumphant return to Bionicle you wanted to see? Or were you hoping for something more like the original? Like I mentioned earlier, this is going to be a gift with purchase from Lego.com, and I'll update the description and the comment section with the exact details once I have them, as I've heard quite a few different things at this point. I think there's going to be a lot of people happy that this happened, that LEGO is indeed acknowledging Bionicle in some small way, but ultimately that decision is not up to me, that's up to the fans. So let me know what you think. That's all for this time. Have yourself a great life, and I'll see you later.